Hello, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you a very exciting vlog. So, as some of you will know, I did a dedicated reading vlog for Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight, and it got such a good reaction that a lot of you requested a reading vlog for a series that I said I was going to read and haven't done yet. And I don't know if you can see it on my Kindle. This is my Kindle Fire just because I wanted to be able to show the cover. Can you see it? It's not focusing. It's the Objects of Attraction series by Penelope Bloom, which starts with His Banana. And oh my god, I had such a good time reading His Banana. I don't know if it's going to tell me all of the titles of the books, but basically I'm just going to give you a complete spoiler-filled vlog for these 6 books. They're all downloaded as one book on my Kindle, which is slightly concerning to me. It's now trying to download. I probably should have done that before I started filming this intro. I am going to sit this weekend and read smut. I need the pick-me-up. It's currently only Wednesday afternoon and I'm just having a bit of a crappy day, so I decided I'm going to start this, and I just want to read all 6 books by the end of the day on Sunday, and I'm somehow going to keep it a secret from people. Like, I'm not going to outright discuss it, but I'm not going to say that I'm doing this vlog. So it's downloaded. It's taken 1% of battery on my very old Kindle Fire. The Objects of Attraction complete series by Penelope Bloom. So we start with His Banana, then we've got Her Cherry, His Treat, His Package, Her Secret, Her Bush, and then we've got a bonus story. Okay, so I'm going to read the synopsis that's provided on here. As you can see, it is literally His Banana. I will say I'm going to reread His Banana just for pure enjoyment. But synopsis here is, my new boss likes rules, but there's one nobody dares to break, not touching his banana. Seriously, the guy is like a potassium addict. Of course I touched it. If you want to get technical, I actually put it in my mouth. I chewed it up too. I even swallowed. I know. Bad girl. Oh my god. Then I saw him, and believe it or not, choking on a guy's banana does not make the best first impression. So yeah, I am going to chill now. I'm going to sit and start reading this book, and I genuinely cannot wait to experience it all again. And yeah, I guess I'll be jumping in whenever something funny or interesting or smutty happens. So I'll be seeing you very shortly. Okay, so I should probably tell you what His Banana is about in principle, because I do already know, and then that will make the stupidity and the smut kind of be funnier to watch. But yeah, so His Banana is about a girl whose name I've obviously forgotten already. Natasha. It's about Natasha, who works in a business magazine kind of print place, and she's always late to work. She's living in New York without the money to do so. She's struggling at home. She doesn't really care about work. She's got one kind of friend, but really she's just kind of surviving. And her boss gives her a job to dig up some dirt on Bruce, which cannot think of anyone but my hamster, but this is supposed to be a very attractive man, who is the CEO of a massive company, and she's told she's got to go and be an intern there to dig up some dirt. So that all happens in chapter 1. It's a very short chapter, but that is the setup. And yeah, I kind of have to go back to my course now, which is just upsetting. I want to read His Banana, but hopefully I can just read it all tonight. I feel like it's going to be a very quick one to reread, so yeah, hopefully you can cuddle up in bed later and just read this. Okay, college day has ended and I'm on my bed straight away reading His Banana. Just to give you some context on the banana and the importance of the banana, I realise what I'm saying sounds ridiculous, but it does make sense. It says, the banana I had before lunch was often the best part of my day. William said the employees who were afraid of me had learned to stay out of the break room if the banana was still there. The ones who were looking to kiss my ass would wait around it like it was bait. So, the banana is a very, very important part of his day, and he wants you to know that. What am I even saying? So Natasha's eating his banana. There were 4 other people in the break room, all of whom saw what was in her hand and had moved themselves to the farthest corners of the room. They were watching her like she was holding a grenade with the pin pulled, all while making efforts to casually slip out of the room before the explosion they knew was about to come. The girl noticed me then. Her eyes widened slightly as she sucked in a gasp, which seemed to lodge part of the banana in her throat. She started coughing and half choking. I saw red. She must be an intern, and she had the fucking nerve to touch my banana, to eat it. So when I moved to her side and slapped her back to help her dislodge whatever was stuck in her throat, I patted her with a little more force than I intended. Oh, what is this? You're gonna wish you never touched my banana, intern. I promise you that. How did I forget about the bulldog? So, as I said, she's always late. Of course, I hadn't budgeted time for the explosive diarrhea my French bulldog Charlie decided to have all over the apartment. He was a nervous pooper, and he was also extremely empathetic. I guess he picked up on my nerves and cluster bombed the apartment as a kind of canine act of solidarity. This is comedy gold. I can't stop recording. An ill-advised, dirty little seed of fantasy had been planted in my brain sometime between the banana and this morning, and I kept having to suppress images of Bruce locking me in his office so he could bend me over his knee and spank me. It was ridiculous. I wasn't even into that kind of stuff. Granted, if you played the game of describing my solitary sexual experience with a movie title, you'd win by picking Fast and Furious, although it'd fit better if the movie had been called Fast and Underwhelming, but I doubted anyone in Hollywood would greenlight that. What is this? The banana innuendos have started. It says, did he like that you ate it or something? Maybe he's a perv. Reading between the lines or something, you know? Oh, Natasha, I'm bananas for those lips. A little faster and I'll split. Okay, she's talking about his body. And she says, yes, it was nice to look at, but there wasn't anything under the hood. Except what was... Wait, because she was talking about a car before that. Except what was probably a sculpted rack of abs and what I couldn't help assuming would be a fully functional, extra delicious banana. So Bruce has a twin brother called William. I think I've already said his name. And William's told her that she should buy him a banana split. And here's the conversation. The last time William talked someone into getting me a banana split, he told me he had said it'd get them in my pants. Does this mean you're hoping to get into my pants? That would be crazy, I said quickly. I'd never fit. It felt intimate sharing the dessert with him, especially when he kept making the most adorable and somehow sexy noises of enjoyment. It was like he couldn't help himself. Okay, so I'm watching India's Sprints and I dominated the conversation in terms of his banana. Everyone wanted to hear about his banana. But they're eating ice cream and I looked down at his lap in horror at the 3 large pots of ice cream, one of each flavour, specify, quickly seeping into his expensive pants. I half reached to wipe it away before I'd realised I'd be the one groping if I did. With no apparent hurry, he swiped up a bead of the melting chocolate ice cream on his index finger, inspected it, and then extended his finger towards my mouth. Are you going to clean up your mess, intern? His voice was a deep, sexy rasp, and there was no mistaking the way his eyelids looked almost heavy beneath those thick eyelashes. I stammered, reaching for a napkin. No, he said firmly, not the napkin. I swallowed hard and lifted my fingertips to his wrist, where I pulled him closer to my mouth, inch by nervous inch. I brought the tip of his finger into my mouth, letting my lips wrap around it. All my uncertainty and nerves were blasted away when I saw the look on his face. He was rapt with pleasure, absolutely over the edge with need and desire. From licking his finger. If I started licking Cole's finger, he'd be like, what are you doing, you weirdo? What's with the finger licking? Okay, he has a thing for pencil skirts and people that look like secretaries. About the pencil skirts and the secretary look, but it's not a fetish. I just couldn't stop thinking about hiking those skirts up and spreading you out, making you moan my name until your voice was hoarse. They've just kissed. This is intense. Okay, I like this. My skirt was bunched up around my waist, and to my horror, I realised I was wearing what had to be the least sexy pair of panties. Oh, panties, I forgot it's American. I owned. They were a kind of unflattering grass green with pulled threads in the fabric. Oh, he's ripped them off. All right. Oh, he stole my breath straight out of my lungs when he reached for his tie and stripped it free in one smooth motion. I have never been in any sort of romantic situation with somebody wearing a tie. I feel like it would be attractive. I don't know if Cole owns a tie. Maybe I'll have to get him a tie. Oh, 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 oh. He knelt down in front of the table. I half sat and half had to fight the urge to press my legs together. It was one thing to be naked in front of him, it was another to have his face just inches from my most intimate places. He didn't give me time to worry about it though, because when his lips met my inner thigh, all my worries melted away in a rush of white-hot pleasure. Oh, I use the P word for it. I don't like the P word. Forgot about that. He just answered the phone. She was done. Well, she was going for more, but she was done, let's say. And the phone rings and he answers it and just kind of leaves her. Rain check, he asked. Okay, he's saying he wants her and she says she doesn't really know. She says, and what if we come to different conclusions? What if I decide I want it but you don't? And he says, what if I'm tired of answering questions and I just want to taste you again? I'm just gonna leave the camera on for this bit. Beg for it. Tell me how much you want my cock and maybe I'll let you have it. Please? He said a little awkwardly. Let me put your banana in my mouth one more time. Oh, she's saying it's the first time she's done it. Is this a bad time to say I've never done this before? As long as you don't treat it like a banana and try to take a bite. No, it's not a bad time at all. You'll tell me if I'm doing it wrong, she asked. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, this alternates between Bruce and Natasha's perspective like every other chapter. So we are getting both of their minds in the smut as well, which I appreciate. He says, Natasha, if your mouth is on my cock, there is no wrong way for you to do it. Trust me. I love that. They've now said that chicken uncooked looks like an alien's ball sack. I kind of get the imagery. I like that. If I remember right, I'm coming up to the ending, but I just wanted to share. They've had a bit of an argument, like the typical romance story. They're getting back together. You know, we all know what happens. They've gone and shared a banana split. We just had a banana split and you're already thinking of ice cream. You had a banana split. I think the last bite you gave me might have been the only bite I got. Maybe I wanted to make sure you were still hungry for my banana later. Okay, immediately next line. If your goal was to get me to bite you down there because I'm ravenously hungry, then you're on the right track. Okay, I'm sorry, we've moved. I needed my laptop because I was leaving comments on the live, but she has just gone back to Bruce's apartment. In his bedroom, I burst out laughing when I saw a banana sitting on the nightstand. You have to be kidding me, I laughed. It's not what it looks like, he said. Sometimes I wake up hungry, okay? There's a banana on his bedside table. I really want a banana. I have bananas. Be right back. This is making this book more enjoyable, I swear. I've been waiting to spread you out and fuck you since the day I saw you. This is before I was ready to admit it. See, this is the thing where I can't help but picture my hamster and I can't. Bruce just wanted to get naked and get inside me as fast as he could, and I thank God for that, because I knew I wouldn't wait much longer before I'd embarrass myself by literally ripping his clothes off myself and mounting him if he had delayed. And I'm like thinking about a Syrian hamster right now. I can't see this as a man. Okay, I kind of like this. It says, she was divine. Every thrust into Natasha felt like it was obliterating the memory of any woman who'd ever come before. And I kind of like that. Oh, right, the tone just changed. I gave it to her hard from behind, increasing my pace until every thrust was punctuated by the slap of my hips against her supple ass. Supple. Wow. Where has the filth come from? For some reason, I'm not sure there's going to be a thing as too hard or too fast with you. And as far as the cheating goes, I'll make sure you don't have any orgasms left to spare for anyone else. I'll have you coming in the morning, after work and before bed. You'll be all mine, every last drop. Where did this come from? It's like they've had sex and now they're like some sort of ownership arrangement. I don't get it, but it's fun to read. I finished his banana. And I'm probably gonna have to bring my rating down. I gave it 3 stars last time. It's not, is it a 3-star book? I think I'm gonna have to go with 2.5, so it'll still say 3 stars, but like, it isn't good. See, this is what people do. They pull up outside and to get people's attention in other buildings, beat the horn. Anyway, so I finished his banana, 2.5 stars. It's a relatively fun time. There were some bonus scenes on this one, but it just wasn't anything amazing. Right, I'm gonna go into a room with a shop window and I'm gonna put you in the tripod and when I don't knock the tripod over and tell you the description for Her Cherry, book number 2. Okay, so Her Cherry won't let me in. Obviously the cover is just a cherry. How would I meet her? Well, a gentleman never brags. Thankfully, I'm no gentleman. First, I paid for her cherry pie, but that's not the point. Next, I deflowered her. After that, I left my business card and walked out like I own the place. Yeah, you could say we hit it off. I mean, I'm here for it. I'm not going to start it tonight, I don't think. I'm just not really in the mood. I might try and read a different book, but for this vlog, we are done for today, and I will catch up with you when I pick that up again. Okay, it is Friday the 25th, and if you watched my Den of Vipers vlog, you know I have my sandwiches, I have my Kindle. Let's get going. Okay, we've got a little intro. So I definitely didn't need to reread his banana. I just did it for the sake of this vlog because this is about Hayley and William. Hayley is running a failing bakery and William walks in, bought a cherry pie, stole a vase, oh my god, a vase of flowers and left a business card. It says, William couldn't have walked into my life at a worse time. My bakery was failing. My crappy ex refused to leave me alone. Oh, and I was a 25-year-old virgin. A fact my friends refused to stop hassling me about. And then blah, 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 stuff about William and his washboard abs. So I called him. Maybe it was against my better judgment. Maybe I was stepping into a disaster waiting to happen. I knew I was in trouble when he chuckled in that deep, sexy voice of his over the phone and said, I'm still craving your cherry. Do you deliver? I am in. Oh my god, I just worked it out. So William must be the twin brother of what's-his-face from the last one. Have I forgotten his name already? It has been a couple of days in my defence. It was Natasha and I don't know, it's gone. But William was the brother, so that's how it links. And it says, my little sister Candace popped in on her way to work. She was an editor at Business Insights, which is where Natasha worked, and Candace was her one friend at work. There's the link. It's gold. So her sister's teasing her for being a virgin, basically. And she says, well, what I want is my sister to worry less about my non-existent sex life and more about something that matters. And she says, oh right, sex doesn't matter. Let me just go tell all of human history we've been doing it wrong. Stop the presses, put the dicks away, shatter all the dildo molds, close up the legs, we're done here. Sex was overrated the whole time. So he's got a cherry pie and stole the flowers. And it says, that beautiful, beautiful man, he stole your cherry and deflowered you in one foul swoop. Respect. Technically, he paid for my cherry. It was the flowers that he stole. Dirty, dirty girl. It's the innuendos, and I feel like they're just going to get worse as we go on. We're only on book 2. I am into this guy. He says, I'm busy as hell today. Meetings to sleep through, calls to ignore, you know, CEO stuff. If you want to talk so badly, you can come to the masquerade party we're throwing to hype a movie release tonight. Tell the guys at the door your name is Cherry and they'll let you in. Oh, and I'm holding your flowers hostage, so if you want them, you better show. I like this preposition. I think I'd take him up on it. Apart from the fact I can't do masquerades because I can't wear a mask. Because I don't have contacts. Which, why have we not come up with a glasses mask? I'm going off on a tangent, but I actually hate masquerade pies. I've been invited to one and I just felt like a tit. How did I forget? The other CEO is called Bruce. Of course he's called Bruce. Oh my god, this guy's actually a bit weird. So he has a secret area in his office. Like he pulls something on his bookshelf and a secret room. And he basically likes to steal things. It's a trophy room. I had a section of my trophy room dedicated specifically to things I'd stolen from that OCD tight ass who called himself my brother. I had the space set up like an art gallery, complete with marble pedestals and glass display cases. My favourite item was the single perfectly yellow banana in the centre of the room. I actually paid a chemist to come up with some kind of transparent lacquer coating that would keep the banana preserved. You could still see my brother's name written on it in big black Sharpie. Bruce. And she's got a genuine full-on stalker that has she's at the masquerade party and he is somehow in there too. Not loving the vibes. He's very weird. Very, very weird. So many cherry things. All you have to do is come by my office, so they're borrowed, not stolen. Your cherry, on the other hand, I wasn't planning on giving that back. This one has got a little bit boring, but like just because there's no sex. Which obviously we're like 40 pages in, if that, but they can't make many. No, I don't know, I guess it is on the same level because there was the physical banana and then Bruce's banana, and we've got the physical cherry pie and her cherry, so I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's the same thing done again, I'm not sure. But we have seen Bruce and Natasha from the first book have popped into this one, so that was fun. But yeah, I'm just going to keep reading for a little bit longer, but I'm so tired. Hello, it is Friday night. I'm in bed, well, on bed, reading Her Cherry, and my window is open, so I really hope no one can hear me narrating parts of this story, but I had to share and I'm liking the sound of the rain, so we're gonna leave it. But what has happened is William has offered Hayley a job in his apartment being his personal chef, and in return he is going to use the company to market her bakery because she's not doing very well. So yeah, he's basically just trying to get her in bed, but we're all good with that. So it says, my eyes were locked onto Hayley's ass while she shuffled and sidestepped from one stovetop to another, bent to pull brownies from the oven and tiptoed to reach the microwave. Pretty standard, right? It was more beautiful than any opera or Broadway show I'd ever been to. There was poetry in that ass. Two cheeks in perfect harmony working together for a common goal, sheltered from the world by nothing but a heartbreakingly thin layer of cotton. There was mystery in those buns too. Was it a thong between that skirt of hers? Panties? Oh, I hate it. Boy shorts? And what colour? So many questions. Okay, so it might be the wine. I'm a little bit hot and bothered by this one. So he's trying to take her virginity on a lifeboat that they've stolen from a party, and it's well written. I'm enjoying the story, and we're gonna keep my reaction as I go, I think. A vampire. I can't come inside until you invite me, and now you're screwed. To read the detailed description of a 25-year-old losing her virginity. Like, just how it's handled, how it's talked about is refreshing, and I'm not sure why. Like, it's just like Hayley's breath caught for a second, but a moan wiped the temporary discomfort from her face a moment later. I felt a slight resistance that gave way without much effort. Like, that's refreshing to me. I don't know why. into my bed, but I wanted to read you this bit. Her grandma is the coolest person ever. And she says, the sweetest thing in the world is when a strong man gets on his knees for you, because one of two things is going to happen, and let me tell you how you know which it's going to be. If your pants are off, then he's going down on you, and that's wonderful for obvious reasons. If your pants are on, he's about to grovel and beg for forgiveness. And that, my dear, is how women give a big middle finger to anyone who thinks men rule the world. Love it. Okay, we are done. Her cherry is done. And I think I'm going to give it 2.5 stars, same as his banana. So, I'm really burpy after that one. Oh, I'm tired, I'll go straight to bed. Anyway, it was fun. It was enjoyable. It is not the best written piece of literature out there. Some of the like sexy times were pretty good, but it really wasn't anything profound. I can't give it a 3 either. It's a 2.5. But yeah, book number 3. Here we go. It's called His Treat. So I wonder who this is going to follow. Okay, it has quite a big introduction. I might read it all to you. I can crop this out if I hate it. So it says, having a hot boss isn't complicated or confusing at all, said no one ever. But all I have to do is resist for a few months. Come January, I'll be flying to Paris to chase my dream of being an artist. Too bad I can't have my treat and eat it too. I forgot to mention, my boss was also my high school crush, sort of. First I wanted to crush him with gooey affection. In the end, I just plain wanted to crush him. Now he's back, and he might as well have do not touch printed on his chest. One tiny question, would it count if I didn't use my hands? Let me answer my own question. Yes, Emily, you raging horn dog, it counts. Besides, my dream is practically waiting for me, like a perfectly wrapped, shiny little package, if I can just behave. I'd be an absolute idiot to risk that, and I'd have a long, proud history of not being an idiot to protect. Unless it's kind of like when you do really well in class all semester, so you can afford to flunk a test at the end. 3 months is a long time, and if he's the one giving me the big, fat, dirty F, it does add a little dose of temptation to the equation. I'm bored of this already. But all I have to do is one quick job for him, a few posters and a few props for a big Halloween party that he's hosting. Then I just walk away from his dreamboat eyes and perfect body, grab a plane, and forget all about the beautiful children we could have squeezed inside our white picket fence. That sounds dull as hell. So we're following Emily, and let me just skip to the next chapter. We will see the guy's name. I just saw the words William Chamberson and dildos, so maybe this is going to be good. Ryan. Okay, so Ryan is the person who worked in the bakery with Hayley. I don't know who Emily is. Okay, I'm just going to have to scroll right back to the beginning. Oh, I've gone too far. And I will be starting that in the morning. I'm 32% of the way through the entire series, so lots to do this weekend. Okay, so I've started reading His Treat, and I've completely forgotten the woman's name already. Emily. So I'm reading Emily's first chapter, and I've discovered the link between all of the books. So Emily's best friend is Lilith, and William Chamberson was Lilith's boss. She worked as his secretary, so she is like in little hints of scenes in the past 2 books, or well, mainly the last one, but that must be the only link. I'll let you know if I find more. Not that it matters, you guys are here for the funny stuff, not the links between the books. But yeah, I'm watching Christy Sprints. I'm just chilling on my bed, and for some reason it's warm outside and I'm cuddling with a blanket. I think I might be getting ill, don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna sit and read this whole book pretty much. Okay, so I think I'm about oh, that's a weird reflection of my own face. I think I'm about 1/3 of the way through it, and I just don't really have anything to say right now. It's cute. It's just 2 people thrown together, and they're obviously very interested in each other just from first glance. And there's been a cute movie date watching horror films, and she's doing an art project for him. I'm sure we're gonna get some smut soon. Feels like it's definitely heading that way. But yeah, nothing like funny in this one because there's no banana or cherry. It's just a treat. Like, what is the treat? I don't know. But hoping to just sit and finish this now. Okay, the first thing that made me chuckle, I'm kind of sad it took this long, but so all of the male characters are trying to set up Ryan with Emily, but he keeps just kind of saying he doesn't want a relationship. And his piece of advice is, then go apologise. Go to her, man. Say you're a dumbass and you only just realised you knew her before. Wait till it's raining and then pick her up and spin around a little bit. Then you apologise. Kiss. Fondle. Penetrate. Okay. One thing I will say about this book is they dive into the oral sex like straight away. And it's been the same formula every time. It's always in a public place too, it seems. They're on the top of a roof. It seems like a very poor decision, but anyway. Let's do it. Let's film the smut reaction section because Ryan was a magician with his mouth. Just for questioning me, your punishment is worse now. It's just getting a bit... This bit's made me smile. It says, more than the sensation, I was flooded by a kind of relief and acceptance. Without a word, he made me feel perfect, complete, beautiful. I mean, not that we need validation from men, but like, I get it. Okay, and I am kind of liking this, that she is going to Paris in like 3 months, and they're basically saying like, should we do this or not, because I'm gonna have to go. And it's like, it's not England to Paris, it's New York to Paris, so that's quite far. And yeah, are we making a mistake here? Right now, all I know is my biggest regret in life will be if I have to remember tonight as the night I didn't get to have you. Not bad. Okay, so I finished that one. I can't even remember what it is. How have I forgotten the name of the book? That's how little I care about that one. I've forgotten about the name. His Treat. Of course it's His Treat. And I just got to the intro page of his package, which I don't think I'm going to start yet. I'm not really feeling it right now. But again, I think it's going to have to be a 2.5 star. Like, it was fine. It was romantic at some point. It was the classic story of, do they want to get together? They get together. There's something that goes wrong. They get together. So it's been the same formula for 3 books now, and this one just wasn't funny. So maybe that one needs to be 2 stars, not 2.5, just because it wasn't funny. And the humour is what made me do this vlog, so I'm really hoping they continue to be funny. But I just thought I'd tell you the intro of his package, which is literally like a present. So it says, there's a very long intro. Let's just read it all. His package ended up inside my box. Calm down, perv, my mailbox. As soon as I saw what was inside, I knew 2 things. It belonged to my hot neighbour, and he had a dirty secret. Normally I was more of a cat person, as in, if I had to choose who lives, I'm going to take the cat 9 times out of 10. It's not that I particularly like cats, I just don't particularly like most people. My neighbour wasn't most people. He lived in the apartment across the hall, and he was your typical buttoned up, fancy shoes, smells like Calvin Klein commercial. Looks like he actually flosses kind of guy. That's the 3rd time flossing has been mentioned. I don't know why. I mean, seriously, wasn't flossing just made up by dentists so they could go on their little power trips once every 6 months? The point was, this guy very obviously had his life all put together. He was Mr. Perfect, and if you ask me, he needs to be brought down a few pegs to wallow with the rest of us. Cue his long, thick package penetrating my tight little mailbox. Okay, I know, it's absolutely sick. It was such an obvious ploy to hit on me. Forget the fact that the mail lady put it there. My neighbour and I both knew what kind of game he was playing. Oh yeah, we totally knew. It was on. It was in, if you would. I accidentally dropped a knife on the package a few times back in my apartment. It basically sprang open on its own. I had no choice but to look inside. His dirty little secret was staring me right in the face. As it turned out, Mr. Perfect wasn't so perfect. Who knew? Hint, I knew, and I was absolutely going to enjoy every second of what was coming. So this sounds good, and this is Lilith, who is the best friend of Emily from the book before, and she's such a fun character, so I can't wait to read from her. And the love interest is Liam. I don't think we know Liam yet. We do know Lilith. Okay, so I'm hopefully going to start reading this sometime this evening, but it's 3 o'clock now. I just want to do some other things, so we will get to that later. Okay, I've showered, I'm cozy, and I want to try and read the whole of his package tonight. So the first funny things happened. We're in chapter 1. I'm hoping the innuendos happen in this one like they didn't in the last one. So the two characters are getting things out of their mailboxes in their apartment building, and he says, "Yours is bigger." She says, "Yeah, well, the dildo I ordered was extra large." He laughed. It was a deep, rich sound. "Should I send the paramedics across the hall if you don't come out of your apartment by tomorrow?" "No," I said. "Send a plumber." He laughed again, and I caught myself almost smiling as I looked up at him and those neatly arranged white teeth of his. "Don't let me hold you up. Big plans, I get it." "Yeah, extra large plans," I muttered before I turned and hurried for the stairs. I had actually ordered a dildo, but it was a normal size one, and he didn't need to know any of that. I also didn't subscribe to the idea that owning respectable sex toy arsenal had any implications about your sex life or lack thereof. You could either have the tools to get the job done on hand, or you'd need to call in somebody to do it for you. Me, I prefer to be prepared. Love that. So obviously it turns out they've got each other's mail. That is the point of the story. As soon as I saw my neighbour standing in the doorway, my expression went blank. He was holding a purple dildo that had some really nice prominent veins worked into the mould. Normally I would have taken a moment to appreciate and bask in the craftsmanship. Solid mould work, nice finish on the silicone, and a great suction capable base. Everything a girl could dream of. Deep down I was probably embarrassed, but I learned a long time ago that it was better to own your embarrassment than hiding from it. "Oh good, you found my date," I said, snagging the dildo from his hand. I emphasised my point, slamming the suction cup on the back of the balls against the door frame where it stuck, and then began to wobble menacingly between our eyes. Okay, the humour is safely back. They're both locked out. He's now not locked out, and she's got nowhere to go for the night, so obviously. If I look happy, it's just because I was fantasising about kneeing you in the balls. So you admit you were fantasising about my balls? And their destruction, yes. Somehow I think if you got your hands between my legs, you'd have other ideas. And somehow I think you must normally get away with talking to people like that. Like what? Like you're so cocksure and confident. Like you can just assume everybody you meet wants to choke your sausage. Okay, so he's gone for a shower. She says, "Can you put some clothes on before we continue this conversation?" Because he's flirting with her with a towel around his waist. "Sure." I heard the towel drop to the ground, and the sound might as well have been a thunderclap. My brain was on high alert. Naked man, penis flopping in the wind, buns of steel in plain view, the whole deal. There was a naked man directly in front of me, and all I had to do was peek through my fingers. His hair was still wet and messy too, which only added to the instinctual desire to throw him down on a bed somewhere and demand at knife point that he cuddle the crap out of me. Hello. It is early on Sunday morning, and I am going to have to not move very far if I want to get the rest of the books finished today. I think I'm about halfway through number 4. So I can do this, but do I want to do this? I guess that's not even the question anymore. I'm going to do this. But yeah, moving on with his package. Okay, so we're getting to the first, sexy time scene. All of the men in these books have abs, like chiseled abs. You can't tell me in 4 books, all 4 men, one of whom was a baker. They don't all have abs. In that moment, I questioned every lie I'd ever told myself about the ability of a dildo to replace a man, no matter how high quality the device may be. Oh, here we go. Let's see if there is... I can't even use the words that I would use normally. It seems to always start with oral. Let's see if it does. Yep. Yeah, it does. Again. Oh, the first time everything hasn't actually gone right and there's been an argument. Love it. Okay, the humour is back. I'm hardly perfect. Prove it, asshole. There's your first bit of proof. There's no such thing as a perfect asshole. Honestly, who wants to look at that? I'm serious, and thank you by the way, considering you spread me out the other night and got a great look at my not so perfect asshole. I'm a gentleman. I'd never presume upon your asshole unless you offered it to me. My asshole is safe unless I offer it to you. Noted. Am I allowed to know what kind of ritual is involved when it comes to offering up my asshole to you? It's just too funny. I should probably sit up at some point, but this is great. Either way, I'm glad tonight happened. I liked getting to see behind your curtains, even if only a bit. And what did you see behind my curtains? She asked. I'm not sure. My eyes were closed when I went down there. She paused, then grimaced in disgust. Oh my god, please never call any part of the female anatomy curtains ever again. Hypothetically, of course, that sounds like a little more fun than 7.2 inches of silicone. Why is there so much oral? Like, none of these people, we are on book 4, none of them have ever had sex in this book without that first. Ever. It's a little bit of overkill, but it's described very well. Fortunately for you, it's quality, not quantity, that counts. I'm starting to reconsider my stance on the merits of sex toys versus the real thing. Dork, he laughed. I slapped his chest but bit my lip and smiled. It's rude to call someone a dork when you're balls deep inside of them. Okay, for some reason I was reading this and not filming. So, there's a big side story. Again, I'm not ruining every single element of these stories, but there's somebody that the main characters are trying to get revenge on. And it says, she gets a package that says, had this custom made just for you. Just press the little red button to get the party started. It will be unforgettable. Best, Alan Al. It was a dildo. 10 minutes later, I had a few candles lit in the bathroom and I was ready. I slid it inside and had to catch my breath. It was big, almost too big. For a second, I nearly gave up, but knowing... I won't spoil it. I nearly gave up, but knowing somebody, he'd ask how it went, and I didn't want to disappoint him. I kept trying until I had it inside me, and then I reached for the little red button. I pressed it and braced myself for the vibrations. Instead of vibrations, I heard a strange sound that took me a second to place. It was a phone ringing from what must have been a speaker inside the dildo. 911, what's your emergency? There's no emergency, I said quickly as I tried to pull the dildo out of me. In my panic, I must have been tense because I couldn't get it out. I pressed the red button again, hoping it would hang up the call. Ma'am, is everything okay? It's fine, I shouted. I just can't figure out how to hang up the dildo, okay? I'm gonna send a trooper just to be safe. No, you idiot, I just don't send anyone, I'm fine. Just stay on the line with me, officers will be arriving in a few minutes. I let loose every swear word I knew as I tried to get the stupid thing out of me, but it wouldn't budge. The more I panicked, the more it felt stuck. I spent a few minutes ignoring the woman on the phone as I dug out some lube and tried to ease it out of me, but still couldn't make any progress. Then I heard a car door in the driveway, keys rattled downstairs in the front door, and I heard footsteps coming up the stairs. Honey, I'm back, where's my kiss? Is everything okay, ma'am? The voice blurred from my crotch. Now that somebody was home, I realised how incredibly loud the speakers in the dildo were. Shut up, I still hear you. I threw on a bathrobe and hurried out into the hallway as fast as I could with an oversized dildo stuck inside me. Still in your bathrobe? That's not like you. Well, it's been a lazy morning. We both turned toward the front of the house with the sound of police sirens and car doors opening and closing. What's that? I'll get it, don't overexert yourself, honey. I kissed his cheek and smiled before limping down the stairs and towards the front door. I opened the door before they could knock, sticking my face out. 2 burly officers were looking back to me with concerned looks on their faces. It's okay, officers, just misspelled the number. I tried to tell the operator, but she wouldn't take the hint. It's my job to call the police in situations like this, ma'am, chimed a voice from inside my vagina. I clenched my legs together and felt my eyes widen. The officers shot me puzzled looks. Where is that coming from? Asked one of them. It's a smart home, I said, speakers everywhere. It sounded like it was coming from inside you. Is it okay if we come inside? No, it's not okay, I'm perfectly fine here. I felt like screaming. The dildo inside me had started vibrating softly, but now it was getting more intense and I was having trouble thinking straight. There was a gut-wrenching feeling as the weight of the dildo and the vibrations finally jarred it loose. The entire thing slid out of me and flopped to the ground between my legs where it was buzzing and rotating slowly on the ground. Should I dispatch another team of officers? Asked the dildo. How? How do they come up with this? And I'm now on the epilogue, so I'm nearly done. Okay, so all done. 2.5 stars again. It was funny. I did chuckle at quite a few points. Obviously I shared some of those with you, probably all of them. But yeah, definitely not the best literary masterpiece in the world. As usual with these sorts of cheesy romance books, the epilogue is like a full-on wrap-up, nice with a bow, that was a bit overdone. But I think it was nearly a 3. It's like a 2.75, so it's 2.5. So I'm not going to read the next one straight away, but I'm going to let you know what's happening in the next book. So number 5 is Her Secret, and it says, I'll admit it, I messed up. Mistake number 1, asking Peter Barnage for a job. Mistake number 2, accepting his offer instead of throwing it in his face like I planned. Mistake number 3, in the interest of stopping before number 99, I'll pretend the only other mistake was withholding one tiny little nugget of truth during the interview. So this is about Violet, and I'm going to assume this Peter character? Yeah, Violet and Peter. I've seen the word Lilith in the first chapter, so again, not really sure how it's going to link. I'll probably work it out as soon as I start reading, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to, I don't know, do some stuff around the house. It's only 10:40 in the morning, so I feel like I've done quite a lot of reading already. But yeah, I feel like I need a nap. Okay, it is still Sunday, and I'm going to try and read all of Her Secret now. I'm doing some sprints later on, so I've got to try and get it all done, and all of my updates seem to be from this position. But I'm gonna take it into the living room, sit, relax, make a cup of tea, and then when I have something funny to share, I guess I'll run back in. I don't feel like this one is going to be innuendo filled. I'm more excited for Her Bush, which is the next one, and I feel like that is going to be hilarious. So I'm not going in with the highest hopes, but we will see. Okay, according to my Kindle, I'm about 80 pages into this, which is roughly about halfway with these books, and I'm bored. So the story is actually the most appealing so far. It's a woman who works in marketing, and she wants to get more into the publishing world, I guess. And she has accepted a job with an author who's a bit of a knob. Yeah, she ends up getting this job, and they're currently going to a convention. Like, it should be interesting, but there's no innuendos. The secret is the fact that she has a daughter. She hasn't told him she has a daughter, which is rubbing me the wrong way. I don't know why. But yeah, it's not really very exciting, but 4 o'clock now. I feel like I've been reading this for so long, even though I definitely haven't. Need to finish it, so I guess I'm not going to move till I do. Book number 5, quick update. In this one, only half of the team, let's say, gets the oral first. Mixing up the style, even though everything else has been exactly the same about all 5 books. A good start, Chloe. Okay, I'm currently doing my sprints, and they just said something really funny. The first funny thing in this book. So the 2 characters have just had sex, and he says, part of me thought it would just get you out of my system. And wow, Peter, that's so flattering. Kind of like one of those detox teas. Thought you could just shit me out. What? I swear, the comedy is just so stupid that it's funny. Okay, and we have another case of this got really like edging towards BDSM without, it went innocent to nothing. Okay, on an instinctual level, I wanted to bend her over my desk and slap her ass while I lectured her about hiding things from me. I wanted to fuck the truth out of her. I wanted to whisper threats in her ear while I took her from behind until she moaned out every last thing she was hiding from me. Where did that come from? I've left the camera on for the vlog, for the stream, reading sprints, whatever I'm doing. I got up from my chair and went to hug her. I couldn't stand seeing her standing there looking so vulnerable. Please, she said to my shoulder, her hand squeezed into my back. Can you say something? I still don't know if this is a hug or if you thought it'd be easier to snap my neck from this angle. You can secretly be grateful, but please don't encourage him. It's like feeding a pigeon. He'll just keep coming back. Okay, so I finished Her Secret and I gave it 2 stars. It wasn't as good. Really missed a trick with the innuendos like the rest of the series, and it just wasn't as funny. There are a few things that made me giggle, but reading them all back to back, it just was not as funny as the rest. So, we're moving on to the final book, Her Bush. If you're curious, this is the cover. And here is the explanation, the synopsis, the intro, whatever we want to call it. It says, Everything went wrong when I trimmed his bush. And no, it's not what you're thinking. I'm a professional. The client hired me to trim a bush in his garden for a party. I accidentally turned it into something that rhymes with a big rock and walls. Imagine my surprise when the art world decides it's a masterpiece. Okay, we are going to try and hope the camera stays there. So her bush, already. This is Harry. I don't know who Harry is. I don't know how he relates to any of our characters. I was done with relationships until her. The new gardener took everything I knew and flipped it upside down. And once I saw her bush, well, that was when I knew she was something special. Women have tried a lot of things to get my attention, but now's bush has to be the boldest method. I mean, there was the direct approach, and then there was turning a 10-foot bush into that. So of course I asked her out. And when the biggest art critic in the country declared her bush a work of art, I offered to become her agent, even if my specialty was books. Now I just have to convince her that I want more than our professional relationship, no matter the cost, even when my biggest rival wants to steal her from under me and threatens to ruin me if I tell the truth about him. So this is Nal and, who do I say, Harry. Don't know how they relate. Excited to find out. Oh my god, right, first ignore how much grey I'm now wearing. Harry has, I also had a big ass sword in there in his closet. I like to swing around when nobody was looking, and yes, I made swishing sound effects. Cole has a massive sword. Like, I'm not even trying to speak in innuendos because of these books, like a actual sword. Okay, I just figured it out. Harry is the brother of Peter from the last book. Yes, that's who he is. Okay, I really like this. It says, and if forearms were the male equivalent of cleavage, this guy's rolled up sleeves were like cleavage to drool over. No, sleevage. And yes, sleevage is a thing. Note to self, coin the term sleevage later and make millions. This is perfect. It says, I hope you're still planning on coming tonight. It would be a shame if the dick sculptor weren't here to represent her work. The dick sculptor? I actually prefer the title of cockitect. 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 Architect. Cockitect. Cockitect. Okay, I needed to film this because I just did the exact thing it said. It said, I had to share this because I just did the exact thing the book said. It says, it was the sort of music that told everybody to bring their fancy laughs, not just the usual crap you busted out for good internet memes and funny gifs. No double chins while breathing out your nose unenthusiastically here, folks. And as I read that, I went... And we have some more humour that has sat completely right with me. So she has bumped into Hayley, who is the wife of William Chamberson, so book 2. Yes, book 2. Can I ask you something a little weird? Sure. Is Harry the kind of man you might catch, well, I don't know the polite way to phrase it, buggering the maid? Hayley burst out a surprised laugh. Buggering? I grinned. I don't know, British phrases always seem a little more polite. Boning, doing the deed, burying a sausage in the pepper mill. But I like buggering. I'm going to use that now. So her bush sculpture has been taken to a museum for like a gallery exhibit. Tonight is going to be perfect for you, I said, Naria. Why is that exactly? Because everyone is going to love your bush. I was only planning on showing that to somebody special when the time was right. Okay, I didn't think I actually wanted to share this on the internet, but like, this is fine. They're trying to get the penis sculpture into the exhibit. And they've said, I wasn't sure he'd fit in the front door, so I almost asked the boys to let him come in the back door. Back door, front door, what's the difference? I choked back a laugh which caught Nell's attention. From the look of sudden horror on her face, she had clearly missed Maya's innuendo, but it was dawning on her now. Dirty girl, Maya said. I like it. Also, the difference is lube. A lot of lube. Take it from experience. This one has to be the funniest one yet. It says, hey now, I'm more of a hand-holding and sharing the same straw until the third date kind of girl. My body is a castle. A temple, you mean? No, a castle. Like it's going to take a prolonged siege and a few months worth of supplies and dedication to breach the walls. Some of the threats in this are hilarious. I may not know you that well, but you remind me of a little of my brother. Not as bad of him as... Start again. I may not know you that well, but you remind me a little of my brother. Not as bad as him, obviously, but a little. You know what Bruce's problem was? He nearly let the best thing that ever happened to him slip by because he was too worried about how it could go wrong. Just something to think about. And I've got Hayla's back. If Needle Dick comes after her, he's going to realise real fast that his daddy's big scary dick in the publishing world is nothing compared to my big scary dick. Yeah, that point didn't come out exactly how I intended. So really quick to share is that the girl, what's her name now, has said her ex-boyfriend was really possessive because he made her get an app to track his location. If I didn't have an app to track Cole's location, I don't know where I'd be. It's so useful. Like, if I text him and he doesn't respond, I check his location, see what he's doing, and then I leave him alone. Or if he's at home, I double text him. It's perfect. It works. Not quite stalker behaviour, but I think he did other stuff. He didn't just have the app. And it's happened again. We've started straight at oral sex. Why is this? Penelope Bloom, I mean, I don't know her real name, I'm assuming that is a pen name. Does this happen every time she has sex? I'm just like, not even confused, what's the word? Impressed? So he's completely naked at this point, she's not. Do you like having your feet touch? I asked. Now said. She nearly made me laugh again because she wasn't using anything close to a bedroom voice. If anything, she was talking a little louder and more casually than usual. I think right now you could probably fondle my elbow and I'd be at risk of exploding, so take that as you will, and wow, I just said that out loud. I reached over her to take her arm and prop myself on the bed with a free arm as I planted a soft kiss on her elbow. Nell's whole body shivered. "Oh," she said loudly. "See, just an elbow kiss, but it's got me all wibbly wobbly." This might be the funniest one. Drinking in the sight of her mound beneath her pink panties. Does that mean she does have a bush? I want more information on the actual bush. Why did the balls just have to hang there? Like the only organs in the body that weren't cool enough to chill with the rest of the crew, so they got banished to a sack. It says, "Touch yourself," he demanded. I searched his face for clues. I pressed my index finger to my stomach and gave him a questioning look. Like that? Lower. "Oh," I said, "you mean like you want me to jingle the doorbell?" Okay, here's the bush. I hate that she says panties. We're gonna say pants. Slid my hand inside my pants. I was reminded that with all the bush trimming I'd done in Harry's garden, I'd neglected my own. Oh Lord, and it's spelled. Can you see it? LAWD. Oh no. No mention of protection this time though. I've never had sex like that. Never. You're only saying that because I tried to stick my toe in your butthole. Harry laughed in surprise. Wait, what? You didn't actually try that, did you? I think I've only got a minute left, but I need to keep reading. I need to finish this tonight. Hello, it is like 11 o'clock on Sunday and I'm coming to wrap up the vlog. Don't know what happened there. Because I finished her bush and I think I'm going to give it 2.5 stars again, which is one of the best. Well, the highest rating I've given any of these books is 2.5 stars, so it's on the better side. It probably had the least smut, but the storyline was quite enjoyable. So yeah, 2.5 stars for that one. Don't really know what more to say. I guess my final ranking, her cherry, number 1, then his banana, then her bush, then his package, then her secret, then his treat. His treat was just a letdown. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog. I hope some things I've said have been funny. I really do hope you've chuckled a few times. That's all I aimed to do. If you watched all of this vlog, please do leave me a banana emoji in the comments. A banana next to a cherry, because bananas might come up anyway. So a banana, then a cherry. Then I'll know you got to the end. But yeah, I won't natter on for any longer, but thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.